Hey there, sis. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in the yard. Come on in the yard. Come on in the yard. Pull up a step and have a seat. Welcome to the porch. So you may be wondering, what in the world is she talking about? When I was growing up as a little girl, one of the my favorite places to be, one of the places where I have some of the most fondest memories, my childhood memories, is actually from my grandmother's porch. Just a few years ago, my family made the decision to actually tear the house down. However, that porch, and it's a big porch, it still stands there. And sometimes whenever I go back home, you can find me sitting on that porch. There's no house there anymore. It's just a lot now, but the porch and the sidewalk leading up to the porch, that is still there. And so as when I was actually creating my logo for my company, one of the background images is that of a porch. It's actually a couple of different porches, but it's a porch. You will see a porch because for me, that was, those are some good times, definitely some good memories, very fond memories. And that was a place where I felt safe because I was always close to my grandmother. And just one of those happy places where I wanted to be. So when I created my company and was designing things for my logo, like I thought of that place, and I think of that place actually quite a bit. But I wanted to create a space where my sisters felt safe. Whether I'm on a video or whether we're actually on a call, regardless, I want the atmosphere to be that feeling of safety, that place where you can go to, that place where you know that there is going to be someone who listens to you, a place where you know where someone truly cares about what you have to say, like who you are and what you have to say, a place where your voice can actually be heard, a place where you can feel like you are important, a place where you can feel like you are valued. That is the same atmosphere that I wanted to create within my company. And so when I say come on in the yard, pull up a step and have a seat on the porch, I want you to do just that. I want you to join me. I want you to invite you into this place where you feel seen, heard, valued, respected, a place where you will be nurtured. Because my grandmother's house was also a place where we did a whole lot of eating, especially on Sunday evenings, afternoons after church. And it was all pretty much, we knew what we were going to have for dinner, but it did not matter. So that place, like that type of feeling, that environment, that just, it feels like you walking into just like a big hug, a big embrace, a place where you know, my sister got me. This is a place where I can be me. This is a place where I can come in, toe up or fixed up. It doesn't matter. It's a place where you are welcomed. So again, welcome to the porch. I am Dr. Tam, your empowerment coach, and I wanted to pop in here this afternoon to share a couple of words of encouragement, with you. And so I was thinking about an experience that I had not too long ago. I may have mentioned before that I'm in this transitional space, this transitional season right now, having spent, a number of years in education and now stepping into the entrepreneurial space. So during this transitional time, there have been a lot of different experiences, as you could probably imagine. But I was thinking the other day about a time when I thought I was ready to switch. Not to come completely out of education, but there was an opportunity, there was a position that I was very interested in. And so I was ready to, it's like, oh, okay, I think I can do that. Now, let me tell you, this position was not in the city where I lived. It was out of town. So yes, if I had secured this position, if I got that job, then that meant that I was gonna have to leave. But I went for it anyway, okay? My thinking going into applying for this situation, applying for this job, this new position, was that I need to get away from here. I need to get away from my environment. I want to move. I don't want to be around these people anymore. I don't want to be in this space anymore. And so I had all these thoughts running through my mind, right? It was so overwhelming. Y'all, I mean, I was applying for jobs like I live in Dallas. I was applying for jobs in Houston, in Austin, in San Antonio. I just wanted to get away from North Texas. And I didn't necessarily want to go back to East Texas because family was there. I wanted to get away. And so anyway, I applied for this position. It was within another school district, and I actually got an opportunity to interview for the school district. Now, this was also during COVID. So at that time, everything was on Zoom because everything had been shut down. So the interview was over Zoom, but I thought that I had prepared myself, right? Catch this. The primary feeling, the primary thought in my mind was to get away. Move. Get away. Had gone through an experience right here, literally like ashamed, felt ashamed. Oh my gosh. Embarrassment. I wanted to get away. I didn't want to be around the people who were loving on me and trying to encourage me and keeping me well, like those who were trying to take care of me. I didn't care. I wanted to get away because of something that had happened. And so that one event created all of these negative thoughts, right? A lot of the negative thoughts that I was experiencing, because that event actually was tied to other negative thoughts that I had had in the past. So it just kind of like blew up, right? And like the feelings, the thoughts, they like intensified. And all I could keep feeling was get away, start over. Show that you can show them who you are, show them what you can do. Get away from this situation. You don't need that anyway. Okay, that's what I'm thinking, right? That's the primary thought and feelings at that time. Come to the day of the interview. I was all nice and primed and professional, and I was ready. And so I'm sitting there all primed and ready, and I'm answering their questions. And as soon as my mouth opened and I started answering the first question, it was like, blah, 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 blah. Y'all, I was talking, but I did not know those words that were coming out of my mouth. Now, mind you, the position that I was applying for, I could have done it forwards and backwards. Had the experience, had the skill set, was just like bam, bam. I could have been on it. I remember looking at, it was like 5 people on the panel. So I remember looking at their faces, and they're looking at me like, I know she is not wasting our time. Who in the world, who is this? What does her resume say? Because I did not show up. That was fear. That was fear, all primed and pretty. That was shame. That was disappointment. That was embarrassment, all dressed up and trying to run away. Needless to say, I did not get that job. So I didn't move away. I stayed right where I still am today. But I was thinking about that experience just a couple of days ago because I heard, I was listening to an audiobook, and the young lady said, our thoughts should serve us, not hinder us. Think about that. Our thoughts should serve us, not hinder us. My thought was to get away. My thought was to run. My feelings were ashamed, embarrassment, disappointment. All of these negative feelings and negative things, just like a big, huge ball of negativity that was within me at this time. My thoughts did not serve me well during that interview. I was running. I was trying to run. I was trying to run away from everything. It's like I wanted to disappear. I was trying to run. That fear, that negativity, all of that. I was just trying, like, I gotta go. I gotta go. So on the day of that interview, that's what showed. So when I opened my mouth to speak, that's what came out. I had some of those words, I'm like, and then when I would say something and I'm running back in my mind, I'm like, why did you say that? What is that? Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is a conversation I'm having with myself now. And mind you, while I'm sitting there doing the interview, y'all, this nervousness and this sweat came over me. And I don't know if they could tell or not, but I was literally like, I remember sitting there and I'm feeling the sweat run down I'm sitting in a chair, but I could feel the sweat like running down the back of my legs. I had a dress on. And I'm just like, what in the world is going on? My thoughts did not serve me. My thoughts did not serve me. My thoughts were, yeah, let's run, let's hide, let's get away from here. That's not good. That's not positive. In that situation, my thoughts, all they were doing was just making the situation worse for me. But they were my thoughts. And so then that was my experience. In that moment, my thoughts did not serve me at all. Were not doing me any good at all. So I get off the Zoom call, the Zoom interview with this other school district. Of course, didn't hear anything back from them. But that's okay. That's okay. But when I got off, I remember I called my mama and I was telling her like what had happened, and she had me on speakerphone. And one of my cousins who was actually at my mom's house heard me talking about the experience. And I was like, y'all, I was so nervous. Like sweat was running down my legs. Like it was kind of embarrassing, but I mean, that's my truth. That's what happened, you know? But my cousin said, she was like, what? You were nervous? Yeah, but you can do that job. You already do that. This is my cousin talking to me on the phone. And I was like, I know. I don't know. But I knew. Y'all, I knew exactly what that was. That was nothing but, like I said, fear, anxiety, shame, disappointment, trying to run from a situation. My thoughts did not serve me. And that was very clear the way that I showed up on that interview. I got that evidence right there in that moment. Oh, yeah, this is not good. This is not, I didn't have to wait long. Oh, no, it's like, this is not good. It's not happening. That was the worst interview experience that I had ever had. Ever. It was absolutely awful. Awful. Did I say awful? Awful, awful. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, but that's hey, it happened. Because my state of mind at that time, I didn't have very many healthy thoughts. Because of what had happened, the situation, and it was an engagement an engagement to be married, and it did not happen. So because of this event, I did not have the best outlook of myself. Not the best, I didn't have an outlook, period. I'm gonna just be honest with you. It was not good. And it showed up on the day of that interview. But those are my thoughts, and those are how my thoughts actually showed up. So at that time, my mindset, what I now call, was in the gutter. And so you can imagine going through an experience like that. Y'all, how do y'all think that made me feel after that interview? My spirit was so low. I thought I was already low. I thought it couldn't get any worse. My spirit was so low at that point. Like the minute I got off the phone, because I remember I said after the interview, it did not go well. I called and I talked, I'm sorry, that was a call. I called and I told my mama and my cousin them like what had happened. And then when I got off that phone with them, I'm in my living room, I'm just bawling. Face all toe up because I was so low, like spirit just broken. And it was all because of those thoughts that had manifested. When we talk about the power of our thoughts, when we talk about the importance of our thoughts, it is a real thing. Because when I was in that interview, I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I'm fumbling over my words, stuff is coming out, and I'm like, what? I'm questioning myself. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. And I know I keep saying that, but it was. But it was. That's just the way that it was. So that was actually 2020. Fast forward to today. Now, at the time that this video is being recorded, this is 2024, March in particular, March of 2024. Okay. And I still remember that experience. And I used that experience kind of as a gauge, right? Against my mindset now. That's where my mind was 4 years ago. This is where my mindset is now. So now I make it my business. It is on purpose. I am intentional. I think about my thinking. I was just sharing that with a friend the other day. I think about my thinking. And so now that I am more aware that all of that stuff has the potential and could still be inside of me, I'm thinking about my thinking, because when those kind of thoughts come up, I want to arrest them immediately. And now, because I know that I have the power to speak to that, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Don't tell me that I can't do the job. Don't tell me that I'm really afraid. Don't tell me these things, because now I know who I am. And y'all, as I have shared this, I will continue to share this. My growth, who I am right now today, as the confident, bold young lady who sits before you recording this video. Because 4 years ago, I couldn't do this. 4 years ago, this would not have been my voice. This was not the power that I was exuding at all. Do you hear me? At all. I was nothing like this 4 years ago after that incident happened. That tore up my spirit because I didn't know who I was. And the thoughts that I had of myself at that time were not serving me. But the thoughts that I have of myself today, that I am fearfully and wonderfully made, that I am abundant, that I am the head and not the tail, that I am above and not beneath, that I am strong, I am bold, I am courageous, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Those are the thoughts that I have of myself today. Those are the thoughts that I know to be true today. I didn't know that 4 years ago. And it was my intentional study. It was my intentional time that I spending in the Word of God, being in His presence. It took me to learn who He has already said that I am. It took that. And I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. There's more to come. I know that there are great gifts inside of me. There are great skills inside of me. I know now who I am. And that is the daughter of the Most High God. That's who I am today. 4 years ago, I may have looked like that. But because my thoughts were not serving me, because my thoughts of myself 4 years ago had me full of anxiety, full of shame, full of disappointment, because of those thoughts, that's who I was. That's what I was feeling because of those thoughts. But my thoughts today, so now I'm more intentional about what I think. I'm thinking about my thinking, and I'm thinking that today I want my thoughts to continue to serve me, because when my thoughts serve me, when I know that, when I can recite over myself, when I can recite my daily affirmations, when I can recite confessions, when I can look at myself in the mirror and I can tell myself who I am, that's what's serving me. And because I do that, I start feeling something on the inside. Did you hear my voice raise up just a little bit? I'm sorry. I'm not hollering at you. Sis, I'm not hollering at you. I'm not. All of this is out of love. I promise you. All of this right now is out of love. But when I do that, it's like something stirs up inside of me, right? And it's like, okay. And I sit up a little straighter than what I was before. Shoulders are back. Head is held up a little bit higher than it was before. And I'm walking in victory, knowing who I am, knowing that I am an overcomer, knowing that I am a conqueror, knowing that I can do all of these things because my Father, has already done these things. That's who I am today. And I am so excited about this journey. And I'm so excited about learning more things about Him. Because when I learn about Him, I learn about myself, more about myself. I done got hot up in here. I done got hot up on this porch, y'all. I am hot right now, but it's a good, it's good. It's good energy. It's a good feeling, because when you think about his goodness and when you think about who you are in him, you can't help but to start feeling better. You can't, it's gonna happen. That's why I said we gotta get in the word. We have to learn who we are. Hold on, let me turn this fan off. Hold on. Okay, y'all. I'm not gonna keep you too much longer. Cause like I said, I done got hot up in here. Whew. And old girl, she about to come off. But listen, that was 4 years ago. That experience, that interview experience 4 years ago, compared to an interview experience that I had, was it last summer? Two summers ago, as a matter of fact. It's and man. Now, if I was to do that one again, they would have had the contract signed and ready for me to sign right there in that moment with who I am today. But I'm comparing the interview from 4 years ago, when I was full of fear, full of anxiety, when I was running, when I was ashamed, when I was depressed, when all of that interview compared to an interview that I had in the summer of 2022, and I actually got a chance to have a one-on-one with the superintendent of a district that I was applying for. So I was one of the 2 top finalists for that position. Did not get that position, but let me tell you the difference. I was so proud of I didn't get that job. I didn't get that job. But by that time, I had already started learning about who I was. And I was able to convey that, and I spoke confidently. I was able to acknowledge my strengths and my skills. I was able to identify the value and how I can add that to that particular district. Now, again, this is what I was able to convey when I was speaking to the superintendent, right? Because I had already started this journey, that journey of learning and discovering who I truly was. So by that time, I was showing up a little bit more like her, who God has created me to be. Fast forward to 2 years right now, 2024. Ooh, she done grew up a little bit. She's more powerful now. But I was so proud of myself. And I didn't even get that job, but I was so proud of myself. And who I'm able to look at you right now. I'm able to look at myself right now. I can smile. I can say, you did that. And you were doing that. You are becoming. I am becoming who I have been created to be. I done tapped into something. I done learned a little bit of who his word, just a little bit of who his word says that I am, and already experiencing great gains in my life, transformation in my life. Y'all, it is absolutely amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Sis, join me. Join me. Because you can do this too. You can do this too. You've gone up for a position. You have tried and tried and tried. You have been denied several times. You feel like you're being overlooked. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation, because I know that I can help you. just like I described, and I was able to share with you my experience from 2020, okay, to 2022, to 2024, to where we are today. I know that I can help you as well. I know that I can help you as well. Get to that level where you want to be in your career. Get to that next level, that big promotion, because you got the skills. Y'all, when I was in that interview, I'm telling you, I could have done that job forwards and backwards. I had the experience. I had the skill set. I knew what to do. I can teach other people what to do, but that's not who showed up because I didn't know who I was. Oh, but I do now. But I do now. And I can even help you. I can even help you. I hope that encourages you. Keep going. Don't give up. Don't give up. Those thoughts, I want you to be more intentional about your thoughts. Think about your thinking. Ask yourself, are these thoughts serving me? Are these the thoughts about myself that's adding value to me? Or are these thoughts that's keeping me from moving forward? Are these thoughts just like mine were in that interview back in 2020? Or are these thoughts like holding you? Because that's what it felt like somebody had a hold on me, and I'm fearful, I'm shaking, and I'm nervous, and I'm sweating, and I'm stumbling over my words. My thoughts of me were not serving me in that moment. Not just that moment, for a good little while, even thereafter, because of my experience. And that's what happens. Things happen. Bad things happen to good people all the time. But you are not that bad thing. I had to realize that I was not that bad thing that had happened to me. I was so much more than that. It took me a while. It has taken me a while, and I'm still on this journey. I'm not stopping. I'm continuing to study and learn more about His Word, to learn more about Him, to learn more about myself. And when I can learn who I truly am, I'm going to show up in situations different. Just like I do now. I had a call just a couple of days ago, and at the end of the call, yesterday, as a matter of fact, at the end of the call, I went for this opportunity. I was like, I know that you're about to go, but you know what? I want to work for your company. I want to come in, and this is what I want to do for your company. And she was like, oh, okay. When we know who we are, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It is a game changer. Literally, the woman said to me, okay, welcome to the family. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. I was able to not only convey who I was, I went and asked for what I wanted. Because His Word also tells, ask, trust, and believe that it's coming to you. You'll receive it. Got it. Y'all, it's hot on this porch. It is hot on this porch. So I'm finna go in the house and sit under this air. That's what I'm about to do. But sis, I love you. I want you to stay encouraged. I want you to stay encouraged. Keep your head up. You are not, I repeat, you are not your experiences. And make sure that your thoughts are serving you. Your thoughts are serving you. Thoughts of good. Because that's who you are. You are precious. You are honored. And you are loved. I love you. God loves you. I will check in with you soon. In the meantime, stay safe. If you want to talk, reach out to me. I'm going to put a link in the description of how you can get in contact with me. I would love for you to pull up on the porch and just be me and you for some girl talk. I can't wait to talk to you soon. Take care. Toodles.